friends, I'm Tammy with Mountain Grandma. Today I'm sharing 3 festive biscotti recipes that make beautiful homemade gifts. First up is a rich chocolate hazelnut biscotti, deeply chocolatey with toasted hazelnut pieces that give it the perfect crunch. Then we'll be making a white chocolate cranberry biscotti. It's studded with those tart ruby red cranberries which make it very festive, and then you coat it with a creamy drizzle. In this case, I just kind of topped them all off with that. And finally, a white chocolate peppermint biscotti that's crisp, cool, topped with that crushed peppermint and a little bit of holiday sparkle there too. You see that? These are all simple, delicious, and perfect for pairing with a warm mug on a winter day. And I'm excited to share that this video is part of the Gifts from Home 25 collaboration hosted by Tina over at Life in the Piedmont. Now, let's get baking. Okay, in this bowl, I've got 1 3/4 cup flour. To this, I'm going to be adding in 3/4 cup sugar, a 1/2 cup of cocoa powder, a teaspoon of baking powder, and I'm going to mix all of this up, and I'll be back with you. All right, now that I've got all of my dry ingredients blended together, I'm going to add in 2 eggs and 4 tablespoons of room softened butter. All right, now that we've got this in a dough-like consistency, I'm going to add to this 3/4 cup chopped hazelnuts. I'll get this all blended in and I'll be back with you. And here it is. You want to form it into like a square log. And there's going to be enough room to do a couple of these. So let's go on to the next version and then we'll get these in the oven together. Okay, in this bowl I have 1 3/4 cup flour. I'm going to add in a cup of sugar, and then I'm also adding in a 1/2 teaspoon salt and a 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. I'm going to mix all of this up, and then I'll be back with you. All right, now to these dry ingredients, I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 eggs. That's 2 large eggs, and I'm going to add in 4 tablespoons of butter at room temperature, and I'll get this mixed up and be back with you. I almost forgot, you also want to add in about a teaspoonful or so of vanilla. All right, now let's get back to stirring. All right, now that you've got more of a dough in here, we're going to add to this 1/2 to 3/4 cups of white chocolate chips, and we're adding just a little less than 1/2 cup of red cranberries. And I'm going to get this all mixed up together, and then I'm going to add it to the cookie sheet with the other chocolate hazelnut biscotti I've got over there ready to go in the oven. Chocolate hazelnut, white chocolate cranberry. And I've separated these to separate cookie sheets because this guy is a really wet, sticky dough, and my concern is that it's going to spread and it's going to kind of leach over into the space for this one. So we're going to put these in the oven. We'll be baking at 350 degrees for 25 minutes, and I'll be back with you. All right, now it's been about 25 minutes. Here is our chocolate hazelnut biscotti, and this is our white chocolate cranberry biscotti. We're going to let these cool for about 10 minutes, and then I'll be slicing them. I'll be back with you. All right, now once you're 10 minutes in, you want to slice up the biscotti and turn it on its side so they're more like the little biscotti cookies. And then you're going to lower your oven. Lower your oven to 275 degrees. I'm going to put these in for 10 more minutes. And after 10 more minutes, we're going to flip them over. And I'll be back with you. All right, it's been 10 minutes. Now I'm going to go ahead and get all of these turned over like this and cook it for another 10 minutes. All right, and now while these go back in the oven, I'm going to get started on the chocolate peppermint biscotti. So let's go. All right, now in this bowl, I've got 1 3/4 cup flour. I'm going to be adding in 3/4 cup sugar, maybe a little more than that. If you want a sweeter biscotti, you can put in a cup of sugar. And then I'm also going to be adding in a 1/2 cup of the cocoa powder. And I've got 1 teaspoon of baking powder here I'm going to add in as well. I'm going to stir this up, and then I'm going to add in the eggs and the butter and the chips. And I'll be back with you in just a minute to do that. All right, now we're going to go ahead and add in about 4 tablespoons of room temperature butter. And we're going to add in two eggs. And I'll get this mixed up and I'll be back with you. All right, now here's the double chocolate biscotti that's going to go in the oven. If you wanted to add peppermint extract to this dough, you could, if you wanted to do that. If you wanted to turn it mocha, you could have also added in a teaspoon of coffee. But I just went with the double chocolate, and the plan is to make the peppermint be on top. So we'll do that in a minute, but I've got my oven at 350, and I'm going to go ahead and get these in the oven, and I'll be back with you. All right, now while we're waiting for our double chocolate biscotti to cook in the oven, it's a perfect time to go ahead and get your chocolate drizzle ready. How I make mine is I take about a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips to, say, a teaspoon of coconut oil and melt those in the microwave in short bursts of 20 seconds or so, and stirring in between. To me, it's just the perfect blend. And I really kind of eyeball this too. I mean, it's not a perfect science. I love it, and I like it a lot better than just buying the chips to melt, because you see how shiny the chocolate is here as I'm drizzling it over the top. It stays that shiny. It's not, I've bought the melting chips before, and then when they dry, they're like this dull, lifeless, chocolate brown color, and I love it when it's still shiny. So if you want shiny chocolate drizzle, do that. Works out perfect. Also, don't forget, description box down below, playlist for more great videos. All right, so we've let this cool for 10 minutes. Now we're going to go ahead and slice these and put them on their side like we did with the last batch. One point to make about cutting these, you can see the knife that I'm using here. That one seemed to work out well. But you do want to try to get them thinly sliced because they turn out a lot better. It does get a little tricky when you have like the chocolate hazelnut. That was a little bit of a challenge because the nuts will throw you off your game a little bit with the, your ideal thickness of each cookie. But it's still good though. They still turned out good. They're amazingly yummy. You guys are going to love the recipes here, and I hope that I've given you some great ideas for how you could tweak them and make them your own. Super easy to bake, and just a wonderful, beautiful, beautiful gift also. All right, back to the video. All right, now here you see me kind of laying them on their side here, spreading them apart so that we can get them baked. And just remember, we're going to bake these for 10 minutes more on one side at 275 degrees. And then we're going to flip them over and bake them another 10 minutes at 275 degrees. Okay, for the white chocolate cranberry, I used, this is like an almond bark that you can melt. I used that, and I just coated the bottom of them. And they turned out beautifully. Now this is our chocolate peppermint, and I'm going to go ahead and get these decorated now using the white bark and peppermint. So let's do that. And here they are. Aren't they just beautiful? I just love it. I also got some of the little sprinkles that look like glitter and put that over the top of them also. So just absolutely love it. And they're super yummy. Like they're just the right amount of crunch, right? Like not, hard as a brick or anything, but just the perfect amount of crunch. These are actually good for like 2 weeks. I also love the snowy rooftops on the white chocolate cranberry. Beautiful. And then of course, who doesn't like chocolate hazelnut? That's just amazing. Every one of these recipes are just incredible. The cookies turn out just, look at this. Look at this lovely gift. I've got this in a white gift box to give to someone. They last for 2 weeks, guys. So you could even vacuum seal these and you don't got to worry about like a cookie flattening out or anything because they're firm enough. So just a great gift. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. And remember, everybody, especially this time of the year, Jesus is the reason. Keep your joy, folks.